shoes are worn, the knees of my jeans are torn.
So before I start episode 6 of the field report, I kind of wanted to make a couple disclaimers. One, I've had this episode recorded and pretty much edited for probably a month now, but I've held off on publishing it. A couple reasons. One, this is the first time a field report is going to fail. What I attempted to accomplish does not work, and I wanted to just share it to show that not everything you are going to try is going to 100% work. And two, the other reason I've very heavily debated this in my head with publishing it is I don't want it to negatively impact the application of the software that I used. The application I'm going to show you is Drone Deploy. Now, Drone Deploy was not really built for what I'm trying to do. So one of the things that you'll come across as a construction technologist is you're going to kind of hack solutions together. You're going to take something that was designed for something and try and use it in a little bit different fashion. Whether that's writing scripts or doing some API calls or something like that, or just flat out using it in a different fashion. And one of the biggest reasons that what I tried to accomplish in this video didn't work is, one, there are construction materials on the roof and they just gave poor data. And it's not Drone Deploy's fault. We have stuff on the roof. And two, I did not use a well-executed flight path. I flew it by hand, as you'll find out in the video. It was very windy that day. Not very windy, but it was right on the edge of a comfort level as a pilot. And then also there was a lot of things in the air. There were 4 mast climbers, or towers, basically scaffolding that goes up and down. So for those reasons, I did not get the results that I was looking for, and unfortunately, due to the time implications, I could not spend any more time in just trying to make the solution work, nor could I wait until the roof was cleared off to get the results and the data I needed. So I ultimately went to a different solution, which is probably going to be basically just taking topo of the roof, using not traditional survey methods, but basically taking a flatness using a laser. So unfortunately, it didn't work the way I wanted it to, but this is kind of one of the things that you come across as a construction technologist. Some things are going to work, some things aren't, and sometimes you're going to have to can it and save it for later just because time doesn't allow for further iterations. That's just kind of one of the things that happens on a project. And most importantly, I don't want this to negatively reflect on Drone Deploy. Their software was not really intended to do those kind of computations with poorly collected and rushed data, rushed data collection, and also there was just stuff in the way that wasn't actually the roof surface. It was like materials on the roof, as you will see later in this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'll probably do another roof report attempt with Drone Deploy later on different things, but for right now, my main goal in publishing this was to show that not everything you try as a quote-unquote construction technologist or construction dork is going to work. So hope you guys enjoy, and let me know your thoughts, and here's what I attempted to do. So this one is going to be a little bit quicker. It's getting a little cold outside. Milwaukee jacket's nice, but I definitely need some Milwaukee gloves. So what we're doing is this is another one of those like guerrilla innovation episodes, thanks to John Grammer at Rogers O'Brien for that. But what we have is we have a concrete deck for the roofs, and concrete decks, we want to make sure that get a real good I guess quote unquote as built of not deflection but of the slope, just to make sure that it's what was the design intent for before we put the roofing on, to help prevent ponding. If we need to make changes to the roofing design, the insulation, the taper design, the size of the sumps, all that type of stuff. So what we did is we flew the drone. Obviously, I wanted to have like this really cool like drone shots of the building and all this great stuff, but it's about 25 degrees outside. Apparently, there's a snowpocalypse coming today, and insert 4-hour episodes later. This is why we flew earlier. Snowing. I just wanted to get this done before it happened. I was going to do it earlier this week,
but I forgot my memory card, so I kind of put a stop that. And so I don't have the cool marketing videos, but I do have obviously this, and the software I'm going to use is Drone Deploy. Now, a couple of things with Drone Deploy. Obviously, on this case, I didn't use a pre-programmed flight path. A couple reasons. One, flying close to the building. Two, you'll see it in the kind of the clips that to follow is there's a mast climber up there for terracotta. Maybe I'll drop some images in there that we're using to install, and all that metal starts to throw interference, radio interference and GPS interference. I've tried taking off on this roof before for other things, and it doesn't like it. The drone just kind of shuts down. It doesn't shut down, it'll let you fly, but it goes haywire. And it's very hard to control, and it's already a little bit more windy than it should be. So those are the kind of the reasons I flew it manually. So we'll see how Drone Deploy does with producing the roof report. Just looking to basically detect 1/4 inch change in slopes, 1/4 inch per foot, and I need to see if it's like going to be half per foot, the raise per foot, what the reality of the situation is. So without further ado, let's turn over to the drone flight, and then we'll come back to see how it worked for the roof report.
Sweat coming through my shirt, keep pushing even though it hurts. I'm chasing what I know is true. There's nothing that I would not do.
Inside of Drone Deploy, and here was the photos taken. So let's go take a look at the 3D model. And I definitely have some errors I'm going to need to correct. I think I'm going to have to scrap this flight and redo it. So as you can see, the roof slope looks pretty Jurassic. Obviously, there was not a pre-programmed flight path. I flew it by hand. So that's kind of what I get. Because again, my concern was these metal panels messing with the communication systems, then also these mast climbers, which are right here. You can only see like the pedestals of a couple of them, but the results just won't be good because you can see how Jurassic the slope up is, and that's just not even close to correct. So we're gonna have to go back to the drawing board on this one. We'll have to do a take 2 of the flight. We will update you whenever I redo this flight and give you the results.